Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Breaking news now, a suspect is in custody tonight after a shooting sent one person to the hospital. Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Hart.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. This happened just after 3 this afternoon on Hillcrest Avenue in West Hartford. Fox 61's Stefan Reels is live in West Hartford where it all happened. Stefan, what have you learned?
Well, we've been here for about an hour or so now, and as you can see right now, that scene is almost completely cleared at this point. We still have a couple of police out here, but for the most part, things are finally starting to return to normal out here in West Hartford. But a lot of people are still rattled. They tell me that a lot of this stuff hasn't ever really happened since they've lived here for months, years, even decades. And right now, what we do know is that one person was taken to the hospital. Luckily, they do not have life-threatening conditions. They're stable. They're all good to go. But one suspect was taken into custody and a gun was recovered from the situation. I had a chance to catch up with Angel Lopez, and he told me he heard 3 gunshots ring out, and that has really just left him in shock of what happened.
I moved out just 3 or 4 months ago. They told me it's a nice place to live.
And what do you think?
I don't know now.
Yes, the West Hartford police are still investigating the scene at this time. We'll keep you updated on air and online as we learn more. But for now in West Hartford, Stefan Reels, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Stefan, thank you. New tonight, the state comptroller released an audit of Connecticut's college and university system, revealing excessive spending, misuse of funds, and a lack of oversight.
Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolford spoke with the comptroller. She joins us now in studio with the details of this report. Emma.
Yeah, the governor asked Comptroller Sean Scanlon to look into CSCU's financial records. And Scanlon says what his office found was a systemic problem of inappropriate spending.
Disregard for financial practices and procedures, inadequate reporting, misuse of state property, and above all, poor judgment.
That's what the comptroller's new audit of the state's college and university system, CSCU, shows.
This, in my mind, and based on our findings, is a systemic problem.
The comptroller's office reviewed more than 3 years of CSCU's financial records from July 1st, 2021 to October of this year. CSCU provided the comptroller with information for about 800,000 transactions, totaling $1.6 billion.
The things we found range from expensive meals to livery services to room service to dry cleaning.
While Scanlon says this issue was not about one person, the office did focus on CSCU's Chancellor, Terrence Chang.
He spent about $19,000 in the period of 3 fiscal years that we looked at on meals.
That $19,000 was about 70% of the chancellor's total transactions. Chang also lives outside Connecticut, and Scanlon says he utilized a car service despite having a state-issued vehicle.
The chancellor certainly utilized poor judgment given the financial stress that the system he oversees is currently under.
In addition to the audit, the comptroller put out 10 suggested solutions for CSCU, ranging from establishing centralized system-wide spending policies to requirements for submitting transactions to the comptroller's office. Scanlon says he's already shared these with the state legislature and is confident they will be instituted next session.
I think it makes it harder for that system to come before the legislature and say we need more funding for the things we need to do. But I do not believe the students of the system should be punished for the mistakes of the executives.
And state legislative Republicans are also responding to the report. House and Senate minority leaders issued a joint statement calling for Chancellor Chang to be fired and saying, quote, the troubling transactions revealed in today's report may well be just the tip of the iceberg. The next state legislative session convenes in just 3 weeks. In the studio, Emma Wolford, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Emma. Turning to the forecast now, a nice day, more sunshine. I was just wearing a sweatshirt. It was glorious. But we could see rain, and it's going to get cold.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This time of year, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Franca joining us. This time of year, rain can mean ice. Rach, do we have to worry about that?
We don't. We are just talking about rain overnight tonight, and it is gone by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. We're already seeing rain in about a little bit over half the state right now. Let's get a closer inspection of that in the Hartford Hartford area, right down I-91. It's now a soggy drive officially. We got rain in Farmington and Avon. And let's also take a look here in southern Connecticut where Hamden is seeing rain. And if you are in Haddam, East Haddam, Middletown, you're going to see the raindrops here really shortly. So as we head through the next hour or so, that rain will overspread the rest of the state. There could be a few wet snowflakes in the hills, but temperatures will be above freezing, so we don't anticipate any accumulation. And this is all out of here between 2 to 4 a.m., which means, as I mentioned before, by the time you wake up, it is not only dry, but I think it is also sunny. So here we go. Next 12 hours, temperatures will slowly fall. We don't get into the 30s until we head towards daybreak. And tomorrow morning, again, waking up to sun, we'll see highs in the low to mid 40s, which is not as warm as it was outside today. It's also breezy with gusts up to about 20 miles an hour. And then we'll turn even colder heading into tomorrow night. Not only does it get colder for the end of the week, but we also have some festive flakes in the forecast. What do we mean by that? We'll take a closer look coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. The Connecticut Hospital Association is releasing a new report, and it paints a grim future for our state's hospitals if no changes are made.
Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc joined in on the conversation, and she has the latest now from outside Yale New Haven Hospital.
Connecticut hospitals, including Yale, held a meeting on Wednesday to spread a message to the public. They say increased costs and decreased help from the government is causing hospitals to operate at a loss.
These are real and persistent concerns for the sustainability of Connecticut hospitals.
Healthcare leaders across Connecticut are sounding the alarm about the financial state of our hospitals.
Fundamentally, this is about the strength of hospitals, which is about the strength of our state.
This meeting follows the release of a new report from the Connecticut Hospital Association detailing why they're struggling. One of the biggest factors, underpayment for Medicaid reimbursements, which haven't kept up with the rising costs of care.
Medicaid, on average, pays 62 cents on the dollar, and Medicare pays 74 cents on the dollar. And this is according to Connecticut's record. So it really is troubling.
Which Dan DeBarba says is leaving companies like his in a deficit every year. With budget gaps they have to close with cuts. They're also all dealing with increased costs related to medical supplies and staffing, which is still recovering from the pandemic.
That recovery has been slow, but we are reaching some degree of recovery, except for specialized areas in the OR.
All of these things are creating a snowball effect. The report shows in 2023, hospitals in our state saw an operating margin of negative 0.5% in comparison to 2.6% at the national level. And CHA says hospitals need to be in the positive, not the negative, to survive.
We are that last line of defense. So if we weaken, it really puts our healthcare system in jeopardy.
Something they say goes against their mission to provide quality care to all Connecticut neighbors who need it.
It's about patients, it's about community, making sure that they have the right access and that we're able to continue to invest in their health. And so when we are threatened financially, it impacts our ability to continue those investments.
Now, CHA says they plan to sit down and work with lawmakers in the new year to try to figure out a way to solve this statewide problem. We are in New Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
An update tonight now. The brother of former NFL player Aaron Hernandez, DJ Hernandez, has pleaded guilty to threat charges. He admits to making several threats online last year, threatening a shooting at UConn and threatening to harm or kill people who live out of state. When police went to arrest Hernandez, he told them he was going to fight and would shoot any officer who came near him. Hernandez faces up to 5 years behind bars. He'll be sentenced in February.
Windsor Locks police are investigating a stabbing. Police say a 30-year-old man was stabbed at the Bradley Inn. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police believe the victim knows the person who stabbed him, but there's no word on any arrest tonight. Well, last night we told you about a report from animal welfare advocates that revealed, quote, suffering cows at our state's largest dairy farm.
We sent Fox 61's Matt Caron to Ellington to get a first-hand look at the farm. He has some answers tonight.
Oakridge Dairy here in Ellington has been around for more than 130 years, and they've always been family-owned and operated. You may also know them for their modern-day milk-to-table delivery service called the Modern Milkman. But now they're being forced to defend their reputation. The heartbreaking music.
How long do these guys stay with their moms before you?
The altered voices.
20 minutes, yeah.
It's all part of a video released by People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, allegedly depicting deplorable conditions, calling Oakridge Dairy a dystopian dairy factory.
We have nothing to hide.
It's why Seth Baylor, sitting on his cow couch, invited our cameras inside.
It's activist groups that come in and think they know how to run our business is very frustrating for us because we do this every day.
They say most of what is depicted is edited out of context and surreptitiously gathered during a fun community event.
It looks like it was taken during our farm day.
Here.
Which is right here on this field.
Bree Hyde is the farm's officer responsible for making sure rules and regulations are followed. Where are we?
So right now we're on the inside of our rotary.
It's what PETA called a robotic milking machine. So this is quite literally a milk merry-go-round.
A milk merry-go-round.
It automates the milking process in a safe and efficient way. Samples tested for quality.
And the milk will go out to a lab and it'll tell us butter, fat, protein, bacteria count.
Then we toured what PETA called a concrete-floored mega shed. This is the main living area here at Oakridge Farm. Think of it as the Cow Hotel. Nearly 2,600 of them inside this state-of-the-art facility built for a boring life of routine.
Cows are creatures of habit, so they want a quiet, content life.
It keeps the cows shaded, calm, and cool.
There's 180 fans across the back wall pulling air through. We have veterinarians walking through the pens all day.
And finally, there's the big balloon in the back.
Waste the energy.
PETA claims it poisons the water, air, and soil. It's actually an anaerobic digester, which converts cow manure into methane through a fermentation process. The gas is captured, purified, and used to supply homes with heat.
A dairy farmer in specific is the definition of sustainability.
Ultimately, PETA issued this cease and desist letter accusing the farm of deceptive marketing for their use of the word happy to describe their cows. The farm told me they haven't decided if they're going to continue to use the word happy, but what they won't do is let PETA discredit their family name or their service to the Connecticut agricultural community. Reporting in Ellington, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.